No, he needs to switch it up. Instead of place, he needs to switch it up. Wait, are you doing the 8? Wait, are you doing the 8? I can't. The under 11 did it. I'm going to the driving game. Yeah. Is it hard? It is. Whoa. Is it easy? No. Tough, I know. Once I did this thing with your driver, go on the street.
Testing, 1 2 1 2.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. I'll just take these out back in a minute.
us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
But it's good to have him.
History beckons for Brunswick Juventus and Heidelberg United. Up for grabs tonight, a spot in the 2026 New Balance Dockerty Cup final. Just 90 minutes or maybe more separates Juventus from an opportunity to compete for a 7th time as the cup winner, while Heidelberg look to give themselves a chance to erase those bitter memories of last year's Dockerty Cup final defeat to South Melbourne. For Anthony Barbieri's Juve side, they've had to go the extra distance to be here tonight, being drawn to play the additional play-in game against their league rivals, Bulleen Lions, after having gone to extra time in their 3 previous rounds of the Cup, including a thrilling penalty shootout against high-flying NPL outfit Hume City. John Anastasiadis and his side have made history of a less wanted kind last week, slumping to 3 straight league defeats for the first time under the tutelage of their legendary manager. Their cup form has been right out of the top drawer, though. In contrast, 15 goals scored and 0 conceded in their 4 cup ties on the path to be here in tonight's semi-final. Only one can make it through to the New Balance Dockerty Cup final. We'll find out tonight, and thank you for your company on the broadcast. I'm Steve Curtin, and we're fortunate tonight to be joined by Alex Sivkorowski. Good evening, Alex.
Good evening, Steve. Welcome, everybody. What a monumentous occasion here between 2 great sides who have faced each other in yesteryears, and they're facing each other once again. For Brunswick Juventus, this is their 3rd NPL team they faced during their cup run. So can they make it a 3rd win against the NPL side to be in the final, to play either Preston Lions or North Sunshine Eagles, which is happening next week. So plenty of cup action to go. But what a night. It's a fantastic night. A big crowd to the right of us here, Steve. Plenty of fans, young kids out, the school holidays. Great to see them all. So it's going to be a fantastic match.
Absolutely right, Alex. Let's take a look at the lineup first for Brunswick Juventus, because there's a couple of changes to their side that went down to Bulleen Lions last Friday before last. It's been a long time between games.
It has indeed. In goals is Nick Feely, number 3 Nenad Nikolic, number 4 Lachlan Campbell, 5 the captain Nick Simioy, number 6 Dominic Fala. We would definitely know Heidelberg quite well. Number 10 Marko Basic returns. Number 11 James Exidius. Number 15 Luka Pullen. Number 16 Salu Kamara. Number 33 Joseph Katabian. And number 99 is New Serhavdic.
All right, let's take a look at that Heidelberg side. There's 3 changes to the side that went down by a goal to nil last Friday night at Olympic Village to the league leaders, the Oakley Cannons. Yaron Souza keeps his place in goal. The back 4 is unchanged, with Fletcher Fulton, who shifted across to the right back. The captain, Ben Collins, and Ryan Lethlean in the centre of defence. Marcus Humbert, who's become a left back in recent times. The new signing from Auckland in the OFC Pro League Test, Mutakuta, starts alongside Anthony Lesiotis. At the base of the midfield, in front of them, Asahi Yokokawa. And all the changes are in the front 3. Nico Duarte, Max Basetto, and Jay McGowan all drop to the bench for Chock Dow to start on the left, Joseph Lee on the right, and Kieran Bramwell will lead through the line. Our referee tonight is Adam Babkar, and he's going to get us underway. It's Heidelberg playing to the left of your screen, the city end of the venue in their home yellow kits. Juve, of course, in their black and white zebra prints out there. This is going to be a beauty, Alex. There's so much at stake here for these 2 historic clubs, old rivals of National Soccer League and eras gone by, and their last meeting was only a couple of years ago in this very competition, in the Cup too. Yes,
only a short couple of years, Steve. 1977, well before our time, that's for sure, and it was Dino Di Marchi who got the sole goal, and I've had a privilege to interview Dino, and I'm sure he'll be here tonight watching as Brunswick Juventus send it through. But these 2 teams have met each other in the Cup 8 times, Brunswick winning 5. There's been 1 draw, and Heidelberg United has won 2. So that doesn't matter. It's all about winning here tonight to go through. And for Brunswick Juventus, Steve, if they do go through, they have a chance to win it for the 7th time. If they win it, that is. They've been in the Cup finals almost 13 times in their career, winning 6 and runners-up 7 times. Would you be surprised, Heidelberg, only 1-time winners of this great Cup?
Yeah, you have to check those stats pages twice, and you think surely Heidelberg's won this competition a couple of times, but it was only that 1 win where they beat the Bentley Greens on penalties in 2017, and one of tonight's Zebras who's on the bench, one of these Brunswick Juve players, is Sean Ellis. Came on that night off the bench and scored one of the decisive penalties. One of the penalties that helped them get their hands on their only Dockerty Cup. They were so close last year. They led through that goal by Asahi Yokokawa. But they were pegged back by South Melbourne, who took their 10th title. They are the clubhouse leaders in this competition with 10 ahead of the Melbourne Knights. Melbourne Knights / Melbourne Croatia, the side that Juve faced last time they made the final of the Dockerty Cup, going back to 1990, Alex.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and they obviously want to make sure they return there. They're very close to being back to the top tier of Victorian football. But funnily enough, Steve, with John Anastasiadis, he won it in 2016 with Bentley. And as you mentioned, Heidelberg won it in 2017. He was with Bentley at that time, and then again in 2018. So 3 straight years, 2 wins. Not a bad effort for Johnny Ada, a real experienced campaigner.
Absolutely. Well, these opening minutes will be crucial. It was a topsy-turvy last couple of games for Brunswick Juve, getting that all-important goal that saw off Bulleen on the Tuesday night 2 weeks ago. And the following Friday, they took on Bulleen again. Such are the quirks of cup football and league football, facing the same side twice in the space of the weekend. Well, didn't Bulleen get their revenge? 5-1 winners at the same venue here as well. So they've been refreshed after a week off last weekend. So they should be equipped to go for the full 90 here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they needed that week break. It was a couple of big weeks for them, having mid-week games as well as playing on the weekend as well. So short turnaround obviously did impact them. But nevertheless, they're up for the challenge tonight. It is an almighty challenge, as you said, Steve. Heidelberg coming off 3 straight losses in a row. It's never happened under Johnny A, so I'm sure he wants to break that duck tonight. Obviously, one to break it, but also give him a chance at playing at a Dockerty Cup final. Something that he desperately wants to win again, and also so much for Heidelberg, who, like we've said, have only won it once in their entire time.
And from a Brunswick Juventus point of view, we spoke to Anthony Barbieri at the Cup draw, and he's vowed to continue playing his style of playing on the front foot that he's deployed to good effect in the league. And they're getting on the front foot here, charging down the left-hand side, and Lesiotis is across to make the all-important challenge to strip the ball away from Salu Kamara, one of the players coming into the starting 11 who didn't start last Friday night or in the Cup game against the Bulleen Lions either, for that matter, getting his chance. And good to see Marko Basic back after missing both of those games as well.
Yeah, he's just had a slight injury cloud, and Salu Kamara as well, just tried to get back into the squad. He was out for quite a while, then came back in. Unfortunately, got hit with another injury, but good to see him. But James Exidius coming into the right-hand side, as we mentioned, Outs is a big out for Brunswick Juventus. We do apologise for the young kids who have got the mics happening. It's picking up on our effects mic quite a bit. We'll get the team behind it to get down. But Luka Lovic is out, and Alex Castiello. So if Alex Castiello is tuning in from Turkey in the warm summer over there, I'm sure he'll be tuning in while the rest of us are just braving this cold Melbourne winter night here.
I'm sure he wishes he was playing tonight, Alex Castiello. He came across from WA initially to play for Heidelberg for that season before he went on to be a decent defender and central defender for Altona Magic. And his only Altona Magic goal, of course, was scored against Heidelberg United at Olympic Village in a 2-1 win there, with Altona getting all the 3 points in that particular fixture back in 2023. It's played forward by Lockie Campbell. Sahavdic is getting on the end of it. This is new Sahavdic. Huge opportunity there. Luka Pullen. Well, if there's a man you'd want the ball to fall to for Brunswick Juventus, it's Luka Pullen. He's scored in both of their last outings in the league and the cup, and, well, he probably could easily have opened the scoring there. Good work, Sahavdic, down the right-hand side.
I don't think Yaron Souza was expecting that to fall right to him, but again, it's that opportunity for Brunswick Juventus. They have to take him, and that's a big moment in the game, a big let-off, and that's something that hopefully they don't look back on and think it was a missed opportunity that could have won in the game. But again, it's a good work there from Nusa Havdic, using all of his experience, and that time really showed that that's what Brunswick Juventus need tonight.
He bowled over Ben Collins, the Heidelberg captain, left him in his wake, and Collins will be hoping for no repeat of that as he's in possession here. A man who was suspended and missed the Dockerty Cup final last year. He's definitely got a score to settle in this cup competition this year. That's a decent ball through to Bramwell. A little too vertical in the end, but it did pierce that Brunswick Juve defence there of Simoy and Campbell. Just running through harmlessly in the end to the experienced goalkeeper Nicholas Feely, who's got plenty of experience in this cup competition as well. Played in the final with Oakley a couple of years ago.
Just having a look at that replay, Steve. I think Yokokawa just might have not timed his offside trap well, but James Exidius now good, puts it again into the box. That time couldn't get it to Serhavdic. But good start here from both sides. Not looking to slow things down when it come out of the blocks early. Just settle the nerves a little bit. The ball does look like it's moving a little bit slow. We have had a lot of rain today, which probably just slows things down. Might not suit Heidelberg as much. This is good moving here. It's Chalked out trying to play it out wide to Fletcher Fulton.
Well, you mentioned the track out there, Alex, with all the rain that we've had, as this ball switched across to left lean, who's acting like a wing back there, the central defender, but he couldn't get on the end of that breaking switch of play. It's out there in the sneakers before this one. It is absolutely wet as a shag under the grass out there, so the ball movement is not going to be as quick as you'd expect, so the players are going to have to put a bit of pepper on their passes to make sure they reach their intended target before being intercepted, but it will make ball control all the more challenging, but the experience and quality of both sets of players out there should be able to accept that challenge. So many players, you look at this Juve lineup, so many players with top flight experience. Yes, they are a second tier team, but they've got so much experience to call on in all lines, from goalkeeper to up top as well. So, and off the bench, they've got some handy replacements to call on as well. Of course, notably Sean Ellis being the one name that jumps off the substitutes list there. Looking forward to seeing when he's injected into the game against his old team. The other options off the bench for the outfield players: Robert Kachatenko, Austin Ganino, who's always a goal threat, Christian Tramontano, a bit of defensive cover as the left back, also Ethan Pisani. So they've got plenty of cover in defence if they do lose any of their back four and need to make replacements. Liam Price, the sub goalkeeper, who was at the club last year, he's continued to deputise this year for Nick Feely, as Choctaw is charging at Exidius. Can he find a way through? He was double teamed really with Exidius and Pullen, and James Exidius, another player who's been a star in the top flight, comes away with the ball. He gives it straight to Yokokawa. Choctaw, this is Humbert. Good control from him. He finds Fulton, who's tucked inside from that right back position that he's playing tonight.
Put and blocked there by Kamara. Just didn't allow the clean shot, and just see some challenges starting to really pick up. Clean challenges as well, so it's good to see it. Good thing is the rain has stayed away so far, Steve, so probably won't make the pitch any worse, but more importantly, we're not going to get wet, which is great. We're under cover, so it's always a positive for us and the cameraman here.
We've had enough rain today. If you're listening from regional Victoria, I've heard places have had 60 mil, so hopefully you're not flooded out where you are and you're able to enjoy this game. A little less rain than that in Melbourne today, but still welcome. It's been a dry couple of weeks for this time of year. Terrible snow season. Don't go up the slope. Don't go up to the slopes at the moment. One of the worst snow seasons we've had in Victoria in recent times. Still plenty of cold weather to come though as we enter July tomorrow. Happy end of financial year to you as well if you're celebrating June 30 today.
I think a lot of people will be.
Accountants are having a happy hour somewhere down the road.
Maybe not the soccer accountant. They've still got a little bit of work to do for all the transfers that are coming in. But yeah, no snow. Went up to Mount Macedon and it was dry. First time I've seen that in years. So it's good Melbourne weather. We appreciate it when it's cold. We complain about it when it's too hot for us. So
yeah, a lovely little place to get up to Mount Macedon. Not too far from here either. In Melbourne's north at Faulkner. CB Smith Reserve the scene tonight, and we noticed Ryan Lethlean, we named him as a central defender. As you would expect, he started as the left back, so a new signing, Tas Mudakudis, who played in defensive midfield last week, has moved into central defence, so a new central defensive partnership being trialled here for John Anastasiadis' side. So Tas Mudakudis playing on the right-hand side of that central defensive duo, and Collins on the left. He's past there. Collins left a little bit to be desired. So yes, certainly one of the taller fullbacks you'll see getting out there. Ryan Lethlean, over 190 centimetres.
I think it's going to be a good battle, that one. Obviously, with Nusa Havdic, very physical. Obviously, we've seen a couple of chances where he's been really putting the pressure on Ben Collins, so that's going to be a good battle to watch between those two. But I think it's good coaching there from Johnny A. Give, Mudakudis a chance to understand his partner in crime in Ben Collins, so they can build that connection and set themselves up for the remainder of the season. As Luca Pullen chasing that one, and good work by Ryan Lethlean, happy to go back to Souza.
So here is the new signing, Mudakudis. He's got plenty of experience at various A-League clubs coming through Western Sydney Wanderers. He was at Perth Glory. A bit of experience in Canada as well. Marconi and most recently Auckland FC, and the flag goes up here against Sahi Yokokawa. Quite nailing the timing of his run. The assistant referees tonight, Will Samser and Jackson Landy, assisting Adam Bavkar, who is the man in the middle tonight. Had a chat to him beforehand. He said he's feeling pretty good, feeling good for fitness for a referee at this time of year. It's non-stop for these guys. They're involved in A-League competitions over summer and NPL in winter. Not sure when their time of year is to peak.
It's great to have the referees. Without them, the game can't continue. So Adam Bavkar's always great for a chat before the game. Gives us a little bit of a pep talk to let him know that he's doing a great job, but it definitely is. As Sehapdic finally gets it to Kamara, cut off by Collins. Really targeting Collins at the moment. He's been in a couple of behind incident balls, as we have Mudakudis now going wide. So something that maybe Brunswick Juventus just need to get their midfield to step up a little bit. You can see Kamara, Dom Fala just between them, just sitting behind the halfway line, and you can see Dom Fala just letting him know not to go too far. So looks like they're sitting in two banks of four, Steve. Maybe just a couple of early instances when Yokokawa was broken between the lines. Just a little bit cautious at this stage.
Yeah, such is the nature of cup football, and we've seen as soon as the World Cup reached the knockout stage as well, there is some more cagey elements at certain times of play, particularly maybe early on, and then sometimes later on towards the whistle for the 90, or even towards the end of the first 45 as well, where teams just want to be playing a little bit more safe, as the experienced figure of Joey Katabian using all of his neck muscles there to nod that one 30 yards back to Nick Feely. Nick Feely in the all-orange kit tonight. He's Lockie Campbell, the boy they brought in from Banyule City a couple of seasons ago. Good defensive, central defensive partnership with Nicholas Simoy, the captain. That's a good header from Collins this time, and he plays it right to the feet of Anthony Lesiotis. He's the scorer of the most recent league goal that Heidelberg have scored, and it was a couple of games ago. It was a wonder strike out at Frank Holohan against Dandy City in a 4-1 loss that sent a few shockwaves around the circles of the Burgers fans out and about around Olympic Village and beyond. Fulton's going to play this over the top, looking for Lee. Out of his box is Feely. He's going to put that one out onto the training pitch. So a very good atmosphere here. The biggest crowd I've seen here at CB Smith Reserve out of any of my adventures out here. Alex, is it as big as you've seen here?
Yeah, definitely up there. Against Bulleen was quite a good crowd on both times they played, especially on that cup game. We had a lot of people here, but it's great to see the Heidelberg supporters here as well, as just Lesiotis manages to win it back, and just has a look at Adam Bavkar saying a little bit late there, but play on is the call. It's another great ball there from Ben Collins, and they're just looking through that through ball through the middle of the park there, Stephen. Again, the Brunswick defenders, especially Nick Simoy, experienced campaigner, needs to make sure that the back four are in sync and not one is out of place. Otherwise, the speed of Yokokawa would definitely catch him out. But at the moment, they're doing well.
It's a big chance for Kieran Bramwell tonight as well. Selected to start ahead of Nico Duarte, who's left on the bench. Bramwell coming back from injury a few weeks back and getting on the score sheet a couple of times. He'd love another goal tonight just to get his confidence going into that back end of the season.
And also got a threat with Max Bassetto as well. He's another one that can come off the bench and really punish teams.
Yeah, it's a stacked bench for Heidelberg United tonight. So if Johnny A needs it, Christian Theoharis, an A-League winner and AFC Cup winner with the Mariners. He's 26 years of age these days. How time flies. I remember when he was a youngster coming through at Victory. Exilius has his cross blocked by Shockdow. Left lean and Dow. Heidelberg playing out from the back well now. Yokokawa, who's occupying a wide left space. Lesiotis. Nusahovic thought about having a nibble at the heels, but decided against it. This is Lee over on the far side. He's got 3 goals to his name in the cup competition so far. Only Marcus Humbert with 4 has more for the Heidelberg side in the cup competition in 2026. Here is Lee drifting inboard, so a bit of exchange of rotation of positions from Johnny A's side at the moment as they try and break down this, as you quite rightly mentioned, Alex. There's 2 blocks of 4, or even a block of 4 and a 5-1 there without possession there, so they're pretty compact, aren't they? There's not much space between the defensive line and the midfield line when they're out of possession here, as you can see now.
Yeah, and you can see that they're always looking for that one ball just to break both lines. You see good work here as Dow looking to go wide, but just running through a sea of both players as the chance comes in. Oh, it's a great save there from Feely. And just like that, Heidelberg can really punish you. It was a slow build-up, but then as soon as they got to that final third, a few quick touches managed to open up the Brunswick defence, and they got a shot off there, and very great save from Feely there, Nick. Steve.
It was a good save. It was just enough space for Humbert to line it up, and he's growing in confidence with his goal-scoring abilities. Is Marcus Humbert, 2 in the league now, as we said, 4 in the cup. He could be a late charge for that Alec Forrest medal if he can bag a goal or 2 tonight. Ball over the top. And they would, of course, need to progress to the final for him to keep going. 7 is the clubhouse lead in the Alec Forrest medal from Roberto Mancuso of Keon Park in the state leagues. He's on 7, so a couple of boys on 6. Josh Aubrey and Lefteri Drossos from Riversdale and Bentley United Cobras, respectively. So a little bit of catching up to do for some of these players that are still alive in the comp, but there is time. As Choctow's over to take this corner kick. All the tall timber is forward for the Burgers. Everyone back to defend this one for Juve. It's a great diving header to clear away the danger at the front posts. Choctaw does well to keep it in. It was Simoy's header clearing it away, and this time it's away by Lachlan Campbell. Not taking any chances. Nice hearted clearance, that one. Up towards the Juve technical area. Taken pretty quickly here. Yokokawa's got to try and keep this inside the byline. He does, but he's only succeeded in returning possession to Juve, and it's going to be a Juve throw out there on the far side of the venue.
Yeah, you can see now just a slight change in pace from Heidelberg. They just started to turn it on a little bit, putting the pressure back on Brunswick Juventus. Just been in their attacking half for the last couple of minutes, really trying to just stress test the defence, see if they can try to break them down. They've win the ball back very easily, but commentators curse at that time as Zidius will come away for it, going back to Campbell. Right in the middle to Kamara. He's got Katabian right next to him. Oh, it's a poor ball. Yokokawa there. Late challenge. And Adam Bavka is going to caution. Looks like Nick Simioy, the culprit there.
It's a bad turnover, wasn't it? Juve could ill afford to give the ball away in that part of the field. Like it was just a lazy pass from Kamara. Simoy going with what Adam Bavkar's deemed as the professional foul there to stop his man, which was Joseph Lee, who snapped at the opportunity, and it's going to be a set-piece opportunity now, and Joseph Lee looks like the man who wants to take this one.
And this is what Brunswick Juventus don't want to do, give easy opportunities. I'm not saying it's easy, but an opportunity at goal from a set-piece. And that's something that, Anthony Barbieri would have mentioned. Don't give any fouls just outside the box. As now Alex Lee will be taking this one. Does he go for it, Steve, do you reckon?
I think he's keen to shoot from here. The direction will be to follow it in. It's a wet track as well. If he can bounce this in front of Nick Veely, There's also the decoy wall in place as well. So it will be off a short approach. It's Joseph Lee into the fencing behind the goal. Always tricky as well on a wet deck when you're trying to contort the ball and bend it, make it dip. I was fearing that standing leg's going to come right out from under you, like someone pulling the rug out.
As Katabia now switches over, it's a lovely ball to Zidius. And pace just stops in time as he gets around there. Still going, Chock now recovers well there, is cleared by Lesiotis. So the switch of play by Brunswick Juventus is quick and keeping Heidelberg on their toes as Zidius now looks to bring it back into play. 23 minutes played here at CB Smith Reserve as Campbell going back to Simioi. Katabian. Line to Nikolic is looking for his compatriot in Basic, and it's another turnover here by Heidelberg. They managed to win it back. And Adam Bafka is going to put the whistle away in that challenge. So, fairly good game so far, Steve. Neither team really on top of the other, but it only takes a split second to change that.
I like the way that Juve set out tonight. They've been very compact in their defensive shape without the ball, but they've also been up for the battle. Some of the one-on-one duels. One of the ones that's standing out at the moment is James Ixidius and Schockdow on this near side. They have been chasing each other up and down this touchline, and every time Ixidius likes to get forward from right back and be involved in the attacks, and Schockdow tracking all the way back every time and making sure that he's not getting any space and time to double team Lethlean, who's operating as the left back tonight, if you have just joined us, rather than the central defender. Collins is a little bit late with that one, and Kamara can come away with the ball. He's got Pullen to his right. Ixidius is motoring forward as well. This is Luca Pullen. He fizzes it across, and it probably wasn't quite the right choice. So defensively, it's been a good battle between these two sides so far, but in the final third, the composure hasn't really been there for either team just yet in the first 25 minutes. Yeah,
Pullen should have probably gone for the shot there. He was crossing it in, but there was no one running in. Maybe just test out Souza a little bit. Hasn't had a lot to do, Yaron Souza, so far. But again, it's that breaking play by Brunswick is really just making a difference as Simioi recovers. Zidius can go straight to Pullen. Luca Pullen, the summer signing. Good challenge that time. Right, Lethlean. And it is a corner here for Brunswick Juventus. So a set play here. Can they unlock the Heidelberg defence? As you mentioned, Steve, yet to concede a goal in their Dockerty Cup run. Their 5-0 win against Melbourne, 5 against Yarraville, 3 against Altona East, and 2-0 against Bentley in the last game. So,
and it was the corner kick where they conceded in the league on Friday night.
Yeah.
Jacob Tratt scoring in the 89th minute. This one's left lane had an easy clearance, but he scuffed the attempt, and it just lingered in the penalty area a little bit too long as far as the Burgers fans here were considering. So the second wave of the attack can come here. Ixidius is going to get the ball in. Perhaps a little bit shallow, but the bicycle kick was on there. Good attempt at least anyway from Luca Pullen. He couldn't make contact. Back in by Katabian. Flicked on, and it goes through. It was Campbell with the flick on. It goes through harmlessly to Souza in the end, who hasn't had a save to make just yet.
I think he was lucky that that scissor kick by Pullen didn't come off, otherwise it would have taken out his captain. So maybe just good work there by the captain, just pinched that one.
Well, he's a man high on confidence, Luca Pullen, and it shows there. He was in a crowded area too when he attempted that overhead.
Scoring that sole goal against Bulleen and also against Oakley, so they'll be looking towards him tonight to make sure that he can continue that trend against the Burgers. As Heidelberg now, good challenge there. Sahabdic out wide, Chocked out, coming back to cut it off, so good work by Chocked out, having to, as Steve mentioned, run up and down the line as opportunity now for left lane. Missiotis.
Left lane's cross, Yokokawa. Bramwell! Well, he's barely had a touch of the football so far tonight. But it's Kieran Bramwell, and it was almost against the run of play. Juventus have had their best couple of moments of this first half. And then it's a familiar route to goal down the left flank for Heidelberg. Left lane, playing it in, Yokokawa with the calm, composed pass, and Nick Feely beaten from around 12 yards by Kieran Bramwell. Feely got a touch on it, and he might feel that he could have kept it out had he had his time again. But what matters most is Heidelberg, who draw first blood here. Heidelberg 1, Brunswick Juventus 0.
And again, it's that ball out wide. Good running there from left lane, found Yokokawa, and just the patience to slow down Yokokawa there and pinpoint the pass. And as you said, Steve, Kieran Bramwell hasn't had a lot to do in that time. Just needed to guide it past Feely. And that's what good players do. They don't need to touch it a lot, but when they do, they make a difference. And Kieran Bramwell gets us underway here. So Heidelberg leading 1-0. How does Brunswick Juventus respond now? Good run from Dom Fowler here. Just not able to keep it in at the end.
Heidelberg getting their tails up now. Well, that's a good challenge from Pullen. Well, it looked like it on the surface. Adam Babkar had other ideas and awards the Burgers the free kick right on the halfway line. So almost 30 minutes gone here, and it's one of those three changes that John Anastasiadis made in the attack here in Bramwell, whose goal separates the two sides. Well set up by Asahi Yokokawa. Exidius' head up, picked up by Yokokawa again, and Bramwell's there. And it was a little bit awkward as well for Feely, who was just recovering to his position in the 6-yard box, and he decided to parry just to be sure it wasn't a shot that had a heap of power on it.
Yeah, Steve, he was out of the picture at one stage. He thought he was going to take the ball, but the defender headed it away, and he had to rush back into goal. Luckily he did, because he got a hand to it, as you mentioned. It would have been quite embarrassing if that had gone in. So, testing moments here for Brunswick Juventus. They can't afford to allow Heidelberg to get a second goal here. They just need to buckle down, continue. There's a lot of time left to go. We've just played over 30 minutes. There's a cross once again, looking for the back post. Simioi clears. And Heidelberg now really pushing forward to look for that second goal. Simioi trying to break the lines, but just getting held up. Eventually gets it away and chocked out. Got in the way there, but the referee, Adam Bathcart, will pull it back for a free kick.
So, yeah, a Juve free kick. Just over half an hour gone here. Brunswick Juventus, they've put on a good performance in this first 30 minutes, but they were carved up by a fine Heidelberg move. It was something we've seen from the prime Heidelberg side of 2025. And a team that's lacking a bit of form, that might help them get a bit of confidence going again after they haven't scored in recent weeks. They've been shut out in their last two league games against Oakley and Preston, both of those at home as well, so some goals will help get some confidence back into this side. Fulton's missed his head up. It's picked up over there on that far side for the Juve side, but they've coughed up possession straight away. Looks like it was Marko Basic over there on the wide left position. It's a hot footy out there. No free kick given there. Looks like it's going to be a throw. Right in front of the scoreboard, am I right?
It does look like. There's Brunswick now. Got a bit of space in front of us here as Lachlan Campbell going back to the captain in Simioi. In the middle, Kamara. just couldn't get it around Lesiotis, who finds his Luca Pullen getting involved. So good work there. It's Kamara now. Should have a shot there. Kamara! I don't know if Seb Havdic would probably try to get on the end of it, but Kamara just pulling that one wide. But that's a lot better from Brunswick Juventus now. They've got to go through the middle. They're trying out the wings. It hasn't worked, but test the middle. Keep Heidelberg second guessing. There's a short ball from Souza. There's Heidelberg now. Yokokawa has turned it over. Good work from Kamara. Campbell. Don Fowler. As Zidius going back to Feely. So Feely going direct route. Sahavdic tangling there is high ball in the air for Fulton. He brings it under control. And it's going to be a Brunswick Juventus throw.
Well, full credit to Brunswick Juventus. They haven't dropped their intensity one bit since going behind. In fact, if anything, they've picked it up and they're in possession here. Trying to make something happen is Simoy. It's a long diagonal out in front of Pullen, but it's going to be the touchline that beats both players, and Heidelberg can just take their time to restart this one and just try and control the tempo a little bit.
A short route tonight, Yaron Souza, so interesting there. We see Nick Feely going the long route, whereas Souza's going the short route, so both keepers preferring the comfortable methods, so it's something that obviously Brunswick Juventus need to take advantage of, but also be careful not to give away too much space as Feely going wide to Simoy. Looks to go over the top to Sahavdic. Collins getting there first, but he's turned it over. Cross comes in, Luca Pullen. Ooh, it's missed everyone, but Kamara's there in the background. He has Zidius. Plays it into Zidius now. The cross comes in. Oh, couldn't get it over Collins. Once again, Campbell. So Brunswick just putting the pressure on at the moment here. Another cross into the box. Oh, he's taking a tumble. Falls for Kamara. Looking to get back on his right as Zidius pops it in. Oh. No, it's going to be a free kick to Heidelberg.
Joey Katabian just led with the shoulder a bit there. Right in front of Adam Bavkar, so an easy decision to award the free kick to Joseph Lee.
Not much in that one, so obviously Adam Bavkar had a better view.
So 10 minutes till the halftime break here. Heidelberg in the lead, courtesy of Kieran Bramwell on 28 minutes. We hope you're enjoying this one. New Balance Dockerty Cup semi-final. First of two. The next one's coming your way next Tuesday night. North Sunshine Eagles hosting the Preston Lions at Larissa Reserve there in St Albans. It's another VPL one side hosting an NPL Victoria side. It's another free kick here going the way of Heidelberg. It looks like Joseph Lee is the most fouled player out there by far. I think he's been brought down 3 or 4 times already in this first 35 minutes.
It was initially Collins, but now they're targeting Lee, so...
He's got a target on his back.
But again, a very dangerous spot to be in, as Brunswick now need to make sure they don't concede from here, especially they've worked hard to control themselves, get back into the game. It's a short ball in. They go out wide. It's Adam Bavkar just saying, just wait a bit, gents, I haven't blown the whistle. Chock now. This time goes long into the box. It's head of the way. Kamara just giving a little nudge out the way. Falling for Fulton that time, as it's a lovely darting ball, but getting in the way is Nenad Nikolic, and it's going to be a throw.
So sustained pressure now on this Juve defence after a good spell in attack for a few minutes prior to this. Fulton heading down to take the throw right next to the corner flag. The target is Humbert. It's hard as it pitches on that wet track and just skids away. Now, Alex, you've seen a hell of a lot of Brunswick Juventus this season in terms of their performances against the VPL one sides. How would you rate this performance so far in the first 38 minutes tonight?
I definitely think it's a good performance so far. I mean, despite being a goal down, they've really taken it to Heidelberg. They haven't gone in their shell. They still continue to attack as we see Kamara. Oh, it's going to be a late challenge there and a free kick. So Anthony Lysiotis just giving away a foul. But yeah, they've got it in them, but it's just got to making sure that they don't concede another. We know how much, against the bullying game, they were in it. They got a late goal in it, and then they just fell through in the second half. So it all depends on how they come out of that second half. If they can stay at 1-0 or even get a goal here by Joey Katabian, definitely in the game as Katabian brings it in. It's a good ball on the edge of the box. It's all yellow shirts are clear. Get it back into play. Oh, it's given away cheaply. Pullen looks to turn. Oh, and that's going to be a free kick right there. A foul given away by Kieran Bradwell just outside the box too, Steve. So that was very, very close to being a penalty. But now there's an opportunity for Brunswick Juventus. They need to test Yaron Souza here, either by getting a goal or at least forcing a big save out of him.
This is a good opportunity here. Really smart play by Luca Pullen on receiving that. He just shaped his body one way, then the other, completely sold the defender. And it's a handy position. It'll favour the left footer, so if we'll see perhaps Nenad Nikolic or someone stepping up and over this one. Looks like it's going to be Basic, the man who scored that all-important goal in the earlier rounds in extra time against the Oakley Cannons that saw them go through in the 111th minute.
Big moment now as Basic, can he find a way through the wall? It's a bit of a split wall here, so interesting there.
Yeah, double wall.
So we've got Simioi in the middle. He's just going to try and confuse him as it's Basic. He goes through the middle. The wall's done a job. Katabian! Oh, it looked good off the boot there. I don't think Souza got a touch to it, but good couple of chances there for Brunswick Juventus.
Just hit the edge of the wall on the right-hand side as we face it. Souza still threw himself as if the shot had been coming at the top left corner there. And then he had to quickly get up again after the shot was coming in for Katabian. So it was all action as Souza was trying to get back up onto his feet on that slippery 6-yard box. It is very, very slippery in that goal mouth there. So getting that traction to push off and react for the goalkeepers is the challenge tonight. And I think we've seen that for Feely at the other end as well. Little knockdown here. Heidelberg are able to bring it away through Joseph Lee. Doesn't have a lot of options ahead of him. Decides to drift inside. This is an enterprising run from Joseph Lee, and he's got a couple of players charging me on the left flank. Did Feely get a touch on that ball? I don't think so. Oh, wow, and this battle between Shockdow and James Exidius, it is really coming up to a simmer now.
Yeah, that's been boiling over the last couple of possessions there, and I think tempers are just getting a little bit too high.
Well, I think they're both going to go into the book here. Adam Bavkar summoning them both over.
I don't think it's good for Brunswick Juventus. They've got, obviously, Nick Simioi on a card, and if James Exidius gets a card as well, that's two of the defenders on yellow. So let's just hope Adam Bavkar has a stern conversation with him, and that is nothing else to this. But I feel like if it balls over again, it'll definitely be a card, possibly a sending off. So a breaking play for both sides, really, just to compose themselves, and good work there by Adam Bavkar, just letting the game flow. He knows it's an important game. He wants to see both teams attack the ball and defend fairly, and so far they've done so.
Very diplomatic conversation, Adam Bavkar. Neither player shown a caution. headed by Mudakudis, the new Heidelberg signing. Of course, allowed to play in this cup competition, coming in from outside of Victoria. You were mentioning that, Alex, that Juve have made a couple of signings in the transfer window, but of course they're cup tied because they've played for other Victorian clubs in the Dockerty Cup earlier this year.
Yeah, I won't mention who they are, Steve. I'll let the club announce those ones. But yeah, definitely made some very, very good signings with a lot of experience, which will definitely help. I think will help them push into that top 2 spots for automatic promotion. So we'll keep it on the down low for now, Steve. And
make sure you stay in the good books, Alex.
Yeah. I don't think Anthony Barbieri. Yeah, I don't think I'll be getting out tonight. But no, there's some very good signings and something that Brunswick Juventus fans need to look forward to. As do Heidelberg with their signings as well. They've made some very good ones. There's Katabian there just getting a bounce off the hip there as Zidius and Dow. There's Tom Fowler. There's Otis. Collins. So a couple of minutes to go before the half-time break. We'll keep you up to date with how many added minutes the assistant referee on the far side will give. I don't think he's getting the scoreboard ready, so might be a couple more minutes left to go here, Steve, at CB Smith Reserve in his Dockerty Cup clash between Brunswick Juventus and Heidelberg United.
It'd be good for Juve if they can mount another challenge on Yaron Sosa's goal before the players disappear down the tunnel for half-time, but at the moment, first and foremost, what's paramount is that Juve don't concede again before the interval. Feely hasn't had too many saves to make, really. Probably only made one other save I can think of. And the other one was when he had to pick the ball out of his net. Here's Paulin. Fowler. Katabian. Heidelberg keeping the pressure on. Campbell, his pass is a little loose. They're able to claw it forward. Salu Kamara scrapping for the ball. Lesiotis comes away with it. The flag's going to stay down here for Joseph Lee, who's in behind the Juve defence. It's Joseph Lee against Nick Feely, and a good recovering challenge. Getting back to save the day. And leading by example there, Captain Nicola Simoy. Crucial challenge. Crucial challenge for Juve there, Alex.
Yeah, it was absolutely a brilliant challenge that time. He timed it well, and he didn't give away the foul either, so that's what you love to see. But they're not out of trouble yet as Chocked out brings it in. It's a short ball in to the front post, and Brunswick now. Bit of a tussle there as Sehapic just giving away a free kick. It's been in the battles, New Sehapic. It's pretty much the defence, the midfield is pretty much taking on majority of half the team here of Heidelberg, but he's standing tall so far.
Yeah, Marko Basic just got caught on the wrong side of his opponent there. And Babka was quick to sound the whistle. That noise you can hear is the tunnel being going through its accordion motion to out to the pitches. There's 1 minute to go before half-time of added time. Thank you, referee Michael Uliaris. Or should I say fourth official Michael Uliaris. Scrap here on the edge of the area. Mudakudis. Collins is getting forward. And it's another good clearance from Simoy. Juve, all hands to the pump here to make sure that they don't go into the interval with a 2-goal deficit. Just a solitary goal from Kieran Bramwell, set up by Asahi Yokokawa, that separates these sides in the shadows of half-time. 10 seconds of nominal added time to go at the end of this first half. Hasn't been too many delays. It's just the additional added minute. It's Shockdow again to take the in-swinger. Set piece routine that's been rehearsed, it looks like. Feely might get the punch. Oh, has it gone in? It has. Well, good ball in by Shockdow. And right when Juve didn't want to concede, it's Joseph Lee rising highest. And that'll disappoint Anthony Barbieri right at the wrong time. Heidelberg double their advantage. And this is big trouble for Juve in the first half of this semi-final, Alex.
Yeah, it was a great ball in from Chocked out, put it in the mixer. And I'm not sure what happened, but Nick Feely couldn't get there, but great jump there from Joseph Lee just got in front of him and just nods it home. And yeah, as you said, Anthony Barbieri and Brunswick Juventus will be disappointed. You can see that goal just before halftime, especially it was pretty much going to be the last play of the game. You were hoping they would go into halftime with at least a goal down, but that's really got to hurt. But credit to Heidelberg. And there it is, the halftime whistle here at CB Smith Reserve. It is Heidelberg United leading 2-0 thanks to goal from Kieran Bradwell and Joseph Lee. They take the lead into the halftime break and have 1 foot into the final in the Dockerty Cup, Steve. It's been a real entertaining first 45 minutes. Unfortunately for Brunswick Juventus, they conceded very late there.
They did, and that's the Heidelberg side that we've seen that they've been such a good side over the last couple of years because they make every second count. There was only basically a second on the clock when that corner kick was taken by Chok Dow, and Joseph Lee is becoming a bit of a Dockerty Cup specialist. He has just the 1 goal in NPL Victoria this season. He now has 4 in the New Balance Dockerty Cup after that header. As John Anastasiadis is having a quick chat with James Exidi. I think they've worked together at the Bentley Greens previously, so they'll know each other. But yeah, it was a bit of a flash point there midway through the first half when Exidi and Chok Dow flash, but Chok Dow having the last laugh, I guess, with that excellent delivery from the corner kick. Nick Feely couldn't deal with it, and Joseph Lee does the rest to double Heidelberg's advantage after Kieran Bramwell stroked home from 12 yards past a slightly discombobulated Nick Feely on the 28th minute, and that's what separates the two sides. So Heidelberg, who are still yet to concede in this cup competition this year, Alex, have got certainly 1 foot in the New Balance Dockerty Cup final at the moment, but there's still a big 45 minutes to come, and if Anthony Barbieri can get the message to his troops, maybe a couple of changes at halftime, what do you think he'll be saying?
Oh, look, I think firstly you would just get the boys into a huddle, let them know, look, let's forget about the first half. It's disappointing to concede. I think it would have been happier with only a goal down, but 2 down, and in the way they conceded the second will definitely hurt. But look, football's a funny old game. We've seen it today in the World Cup. A lot of teams think they've won it, and a team comes up and surprises them. Look, don't be surprised if Brunswick will come out firing in the second half. They need to get that early goal, and if they can, it puts the pressure back on Heidelberg. But look, it's a big 45 minutes coming up. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away.
What'd you say, Dylan? Dylan, back up. One second, let me get a ball.
Getting a ball. I play on the noses.
I think only under 9s will do. Not sure. 7, 8 and 9. 7, 8 and 9.
Technically, 10.
No, wait. Wait, let Anthony.
Can under 10 do it? Can under 10.
I want 10 over there. So 5, you're on 1 10, go.
Wait.
Stop there. Yeah, it doesn't matter the age. Slow down. Go. There's 2 grounds.
Wait, Darby!
Questo deve avanti, dice che con l'abito non deve stare zitto e basta, assorbire tutte le cazzate che dice l'abito, poi bestemmiare non può dire niente. على روحك Any more? That's it?
Welcome back for the second 45 with this New Balance Dockerty Cup semi-final. It's at half-time. Brunswick Juve trailing Heidelberg United by 2-0. So Juve with it all to do in the second half as they attack the city end, and it's a familiar kick-off routine that we see deployed here. Steve Curtin here with you for this one alongside me. Well, welcome back to the gantry for the second 45. Alex Sivkorowski.
Yes, Steve, it's going to be a big 45 minutes coming up for both sides. Heidelberg wanting to hold on to their lead, ensure that they can secure their spot in the Dockerty Cup, the New Balance Dockerty Cup final, while Brunswick Juventus want to at least force it into extra time, as much as we don't want to stay here on a cold night and maybe in a chance at penalties, as we have early start here of Joseph Lee scoring that goal just before half-time, and so far doing the damage. It's a lovely ball out wide. It's Miss Yokokawa and eventually cleared by Zidius. It is a big 45 minutes for both teams, and if you're a supporter for either side, it's going to be a nerve-wracking 45 minutes.
You saw that ball skim across just near the top of the D. You can see a big trail of water flick up off the grass. We mentioned at the start, it is these players do a good job of making it look easy out there, but it's a very wet track. The grass is holding up pretty well, but the ball movement is not as quick and not as speedy, not as zippy as you would expect.
You'll notice, Steve, where I think it's the forward is just now for Heidelberg. That part there, it's practically a puddle as Feely punches that one away. But that part of the ground is Heidelberg now going through. It's almost like a splash of water comes out all the time, as Chance now. Lee wants to get on his left, and that time stayed wide. And we've seen a lot of play through that part. It's always been at the wing, so it'll be interesting to see how Brunswick Juventus manage this bit now. But yeah, they've got to come out in the opening 10 minutes here and really put the scoreboard pressure on.
Yeah, you can see what Joseph Lee was trying to do there, and he's definitely got his confidence up after that goal, which was virtually the last act, as a header from the Choctaw corner of the first 45. Just didn't open his body enough there that time, but the idea was right, the execution not quite. Simoy's touched, and now Katavian, who's playing as that deep-lying playmaker. Pullen and Lethlean are really scrapping it out there, both with the hand of each other's shirt.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those battles. We've seen Harditch as well, Luca Pullen, just really physical battle between the defenders, no one wanting to give each other an inch, making sure every single ball is earned. So far been pretty clean.
So Havditch had a good chance where he bundled over Ben Collins and one possession of the ball in the Heidelberg penalty area in the opening minutes of that first half, but he hasn't really been seen too much since, so no doubt he'll be looking to make a big contribution over the next 10-15 minutes in this early part of this second 45 for Brunswick Juventus. They need to keep putting pressure on Heidelberg. If they can get one back, they can certainly make this one an interesting finish. Put Heidelberg under a bit of pressure. Of course, it's a Heidelberg side that have lost their last 3 league encounters to Dandy City, Preston and Oakley. Look at this speed from Choctaw, getting down to the byline, taking on Exidia. So that battle continuing. So we said it reached a flash point in the mid or latter part of this the first half. And those two players have been stalking each other up and down that touchline. They're over the far side this time, and John Anastasiadis had a quick chat with James Exidius, who, if I remember correctly, is a former player of his from Bentley Greens, and just said, let's just play nice out there, James, and you know what to do.
No love lost between the former coach and Peters Basic now. And good defensive work timed by Mudakaris. So Brunswick at the moment now maintaining majority of the possession, but it's so far been in their defensive half, which is something Anthony Barbieri would want to see more forward, as Simoy going wide. Good work, Simoy now driving forward, the captain in the centre of the field out wide. Just couldn't get it to Luca Pullen, but he's got to be careful, Nick Simoy. He's on a yellow card for that earlier indiscretion, so needs to be mindful of that as well. They definitely need him, obviously, tonight, and more importantly this Friday when they play Brunswick City in the local Brunswick derby as well, Steve.
Yeah, the fixtures coming thick and fast for Anthony Barbieri's side. I like Simoy's play there coming out of central defence to make an extra number in midfield, because it looked like the Heidelberg press was very well coordinated, and 3 players coming up to close down that side of the field. Simoy made that extra number come through. It was just his pass that let him down. Admittedly, it kind of held up a little bit on that wet track, so eventually he continued to keep the pressure on and committed the foul. So again, it's Juve with all the work to do for the VPL 1 side. They're having a good campaign in the VPL 1 as well. They're still sitting in 3rd place, just 6 points off top spot. Northcote City and the Melbourne Knights setting the pace this season in the VPL 1. It's been an exciting league, the old Chaos League, VPL 1, Alex.
Yeah, it definitely has. They're 2 points off Melbourne Knights, so it's a very tight race for second spot, as another ball out wide to Lee now. Looking to get back on his left foot, change his mind, went to right. Cross over the top. Ooh, Zidius there was to clean up. Headed away by Pullen. Sehavdic, you can just see the pitch is just waterlogged that part there as they can break away. And again, it's that final pass that's really letting Brunswick Juventus down at this stage.
You can see why we saw some of the marshals here out with the big brooms on the pitch beforehand. Get the street sweeper out there on the pitch. We've got Heidelberg's #1 fan working the fence in front of us. But speaking of Heidelberg fans and moments at half-time that we were talking about a little earlier, as Sean Ellis headed off for half-time, the Brunswick Juventus substitute, he got the biggest ovation out of anyone here at the venue. The Heidelberg fans come over and some chants, "We love you, Shawnee." They have so many fond memories of the Flamehead Scott that lit up Olympic Village for so many years in over 200 spectacular games, and look, we'll be looking forward to him getting his moment to come on when he's called. Hopefully not too long as well.
I wonder if they'll have those same celebrations if he does net a couple of goals against them. I think they might regret that one, but definitely a great stalwart for the club and also Victorian football as well. So it's great to see Sean Ellis still playing. There's Heidelberg now again, trying to break from the middle as Dow just got a tackle in there. Kamara, ball over the top, but really forcing Basic to make a big run there, as Nikolic probably should have played the percentages, and Lee probably been best player on the ground at the moment. Overlapping run from Fulton, chose to ignore it. Oh, almost had the through ball. It's Habian on Fowler. Out wide to Pullen. Savdic making the run as well now. And again, it's that final pass, Steve, that's really letting down Brunswick once again.
Yeah, it was a great interception by Lachlan Campbell, and it had to be because they were looking a little bit exposed there, and they quickly turned the fence into a tackle. And again, for that final third, just running out of ideas at the moment, so they just got to put all the pieces of the puzzle together, and they might be able to still unlock this Heidelberg defence in this second half. They've got a bit more work to do, and Heidelberg are really taking advantage of those break-up moments where Juve are almost breaking up their own attacks, turning the ball over, and Heidelberg just taking their time to control the tempo. They know what they need to do. Professional side coming through, playing so many fixtures last year in the League Cup and then the Australian Championship in the postseason as well. Bramwell went down, and just enough contact from Salud Kamara to warrant a foul.
Just doesn't have that excitement of the first 45 minutes we had in the first half, Steve. It just seems like Heidelberg are probably content with controlling the game. Don't need to do anything silly. They do have the 2-0 lead. They know that they can defend, haven't conceded the goal in the Dockerty Cup, as you mentioned, and it's up to you there now to really test them as Dow puts it in a good ball. But Yokokawa just stepping on that one as Luca Pullen trying to get back and just add an extra man in defence. No subs from either side at half-time, so both coaches happy with their starting 11.
We can see the Heidelberg subs are now heading down to the corner to start warming up. And there's a couple of Juve players warming up. I think I can see a shock of red hair as well. So one of those players we can confirm is Sean Ellis over there working up and down in the shadows. Joseph Lee, what a game he's having. Really a player really on form at the moment. A lot of players having trouble keeping their footing and controlling the ball on this wet track, but he's seems like he's handling it even better. He might be a wet track specialist for the heavy eights come the spring carnival. is Lesiotis. Curtis, the new signing. Will we see the other new signing, Thea Harris, perhaps shortly as well? Chokdao receiving from left lean. He gets the early ball in. Away. That time, cleared away. And it's going to be a corner.
Nick Simioy there, just getting front positioning. Interesting that the height of Chokdao, you think you'll be in the box. He's taking the corners and free kicks as Heidelberg now. Humbert. Shot comes in, or it was wide. You feel like you're having your tall timber in the box, but Chokdao happy to take the corners. Well, he's got one assist from a corner so far, so it's worked out well as Simioy, the captain, trying to break the lines. Switches it out to the right-hand side. Opportunity, Collins just got there. Just Heidelberg, and it's another silly foul to give away. Don't foul at that time, so just not doing the right things in that final third at the moment, Steve.
No, again, it's a repeated theme for Brunswick Juventus at the moment. They really need to find a way, so it might be time to call to the bench and see what they can conjure up with some of these substitutes that they've got available. Austin Ganino and Sean Ellis would be the two likely types that Anthony Barbieri would be looking to get out there, I'd say, just about ASAP. Needs to change something in the attack. Just looks a bit laboured when they go into that front three, into that final third, should I say. This is Campbell looking for some options. Katavian. Heidelberg trying to force Juve back. Feely advances out of his area. He lost this one long and up the park. He was looking for Basic. And it was by Mudakutis. Nikolic involved. Basic. Well, he was looking for Sehavdic. Headed by Kamara. Basic! Not far away. Could that be a spark to ignite Brunswick Juventus? Aaron Souza threw himself full stretch there and he's hit the deck. He's just feeling that one a little bit.
Definitely on a cold night, it will definitely be feeling that. But great effort there from Marko Basic. He just got on the end of it. Just couldn't keep it down. It still forced a bit of a scare out of Aaron Souza. We've seen him do that a lot of times, Aaron Souza. No save really required. He'll still make a diving attempt, as this time going down to the left-hand side is Pullen. Need to see him a lot more further up as Sehavdic can bring it back out now. Good work here by Brunswick Juventus. They switch it over to the left-hand side. Basic brings it down. A bit of a juggle, but getting in the way is Fulton. He clears. Smart play there from Simioy. Kamara gets out of trouble. Tom Fowler. Just need a little bit more drive from the middle here by Brunswick Juventus. Zidius looking to go out wide. He does. Cross comes in. Sehavdic, just a little bit too much for him. And that'll be a goal kick.
Okay, so a couple of encouraging moments for Anthony Barbieri in the last 2 or 3 minutes here. They've got the ball forward and getting the ball to the feet of the likes of Luca Pullen, who seems to be the kind of player who's a bit of a barometer. If he's going well, the whole team will get going as well. And he showed some good feet in that last possession that he had over there towards the far side.
I think there might be a change coming up, Steve, for Brunswick Juventus. Looks like Austin Giannino will be getting ready to come on.
Here's Joseph Lee flicking it back. And it was Nikolic getting his foot in. Now Simoy. No, Nikolic, he's quite tall for a left back. He looks like the height of a central defender, but he's doing well, the former Melbourne Serbia man. He does have experience in the Australia Cup in the national stages. Made a couple of appearances back in 2024 in the national rounds with Melbourne Serbia. Well, they've turned it over here. Chokdao, he doesn't mind shooting from distance, but he decides to feed it to Joseph Lee. Oh, the goal beckoned there to kill the game off once and for all for Joseph Lee.
Yeah, definitely there. He probably should have gone on his left foot, went for the right foot, and again, it's that poor pass by Brunswick Juventus that catches him out. Good work from Basic. He gets away from his man. Simioy kept running. The captain still driving forward. A little ball over the top, looking for pulling. Chested down smartly there.
Yeah, well played by Lethlean.
Kids at the back just getting a little bit too excited there as
School
mentioned.
holidays is in full swing here. CV Smith Reserve, Alex.
I think the parents will be happy just to tire him out so they can take him home and go straight to bed. But definitely great to see the youngsters out, supporting both sides. As coming out wide to Basic now. Trying to go back to his compatriot in Nikolic, but again it's those poor balls as Simioy for a bit of space. Sidious in the centre circle now. We've played an hour here at CB Smith Reserve. No change from the half-time score. Brunswick chasing 2 goals. They need one urgently. Try to get themselves back in the game as cut off there by Fulton, who goes back to Souza.
Now it's Simoy's turn to go all the way back to Feely. Time to assess what he can see further up the field. Bramwell coming in to close him out. It's a good pass to pick out Katabian. And again, Choctaw with the interception. Lesiotis. It's away by Nikolic. Basic's ball is a useful one to Salu Kamara. Choctaw again, he has not stopped running today. You would hate to be a Juve player out there with Choctaw constantly creeping up on you like a librarian to steal possession back, and they're going to try and turn in something useful here. Yokokawa, the flag stays down for Asahi Yokokawa. Can he finish it here? Good save, Feely. Tonight's Asahi Yokokawa, a one-on-one chance that you would have put your house on for him to finish there.
Well, that looked offside from our angle here, but the assistant referee had a better view. But again, you're right, Steve. Yokokawa there, he really should have made Brunswick Juventus to pay there and seal it. They're not out of trouble yet. If you can see again, it's that poor turnover that's costing Brunswick Juventus, and now it is a corner for them. So Brunswick now just need to make sure they don't concede another goal like they did just at the end of the first half. So testing times here. It's really their first foray up forward, Steve. So it's interesting times. Can Brunswick hold out here as the corner comes in? Long ball, looking for way up back, cleared by Zidius. Balls to Basic. Adam Back almost getting involved there as Zidius now. Good defensive work there by Heidelberg, and that might force a change now, Steve, to see who will come off.
Yeah, it is time for that change now.
15 and
looks like Luca Pullen's the man coming off, so he's an excitement machine himself. But, well, this man coming on, Austin Ganino, the 22-year-old, 11 games with the Melbourne Victory side that played in NPL Victoria and were relegated last year. Gets his chance. He's got 5 goals in the VPL 1 this year, so he's the top scorer for Juve. So can he perhaps add to that? Doesn't have a goal in the cup yet. This could be his time to do it, but they have to do the defensive work here. It's opening up for Marcus Humbert, and it's well blocked by, it was Katabian. Lesiotis through the puddles. Joseph Lee, this time it evades him. First time his controls let him down basically all night. He's got Nikolic to beat. Nikolic got a foot in again. It's a scrap there. Kamara. Humbert wins it back. Lesiotis has got time to pick his pass. Everyone behind the ball again for Juve. So it looks like Ganino might be operating as the attacker down the right-hand side.
Yep.
He's got the long white sleeves on tonight. I'm sure they will be needing a good laundering after this match. Heavy track out there tonight at CB Smith Reserve. Plenty of rain last night, this morning and this afternoon. In Faulkner as Collins looks for this long diagonal pass. Hangs in the air and it just sits up perfectly for Joseph Lee. And he just gave it straight back to Marko Basic. Basic, jinking run, but he's not sure where to play it to. He decides to go to Serhavdic. His touch was a little too heavy and Fulton nipped in to win it back. Humbert. Yokokawa, not his best touch. Katabian. Lesiotis trying to get a foot in. Well played by the veteran Joey Katabian. Gets it out wide to the substitute, Ganino. Running it, Ryan left lean. Gets the ball into the back post. So Havdic was there, but it's away by Mudakudis. So Havdic is getting in those positions on the blind side of the defenders, but the crosses have made their way across to Nusa Havdic.
It's just, they're working so hard to win the ball back, Steve. Then when they do get it back, they turn it over so cheaply. Again, they probably didn't need to cross it in, had time on the ball, had space, players on the edge of the box to play it in, rather than going over the top to see Havdic, he was outnumbered. So something that, Anthony Barbieri just needs to tweak a little bit and let them know, hey, look, just be composed as Chalkdale's making a good run here now. They're lining up. Good defensive work by Simioi. In the middle of the park now, Katabian gets around one. Just getting shoved in the back there, and Adam Bafka is going to call it back, and that gives a chance for Heidelberg to make a double substitution here. 9 and 16, Steve.
Yeah, Kieran Bramwell's night is done, so he's going to be pretty happy with his night's work. I'm saying he didn't get on the ball a whole lot, but he was the fox in the box when he needed to be, slotting home past Nick Feely to open the scoring in this one on 28 minutes. And of course, there's no 5-second or 10-second rule to get off the pitch at this point in time, at least in the New Balance Dockerty Cup. So he's going to just take off the shin pads and make the slow walk off. So he'll be replaced by Nico Duarte. And then we've got the other player coming off looks like Joseph Lee. And he's going to be replaced by the gloved man, which is Ryan McGowan. So a couple of changes in the front three for John Anastasiadis as they enjoy this 2-goal lead. Both of the goal scorers taken off.
Interesting call there, Steve. You would have kept them on a little bit.
Perhaps one eye on Friday night's clash with St Albans. They need to get back to winning ways if they want to make sure they hang on at least to this sort of top 4. They sit in 4th place in NPL Victoria at the moment. It's unfamiliar territory to them. They were spent so long top of the tree and then ending the season in 2nd in the league last year, and they've sort of been sitting in those top 2 or 3 places all season this year, but 3 straight losses and dropping down to 4th. Here is the substitute McGowan. He looks to get the early ball in. Came off Simoy. Looks like he's playing as like a libero almost, but in front of the defensive line at the moment. Sends it long. Off the chest of Fulton. Humbert enjoying being back in central midfield tonight after a stint at left back in the last couple of games. Chalkdale. Humbert still full of running. He tries to get the cross in. It's well blocked by Kamara. Getting it forward was Ganino, but it's straight to Ben Collins. Left lane. Chalkdale in space. It's just about total football at the moment from Heidelberg as they stroke the ball around this wet track. In Faulkner tonight at CB Smith Reserve in this New Balance Dockerty Cup semi-final. And again, Lesiotis gets into the edge of the area, floats it in. Nikolic and McGowan competing for it. Now Basic. Well played by Marko Basic.
Just nothing in front for Brunswick Juventus as McGowan comes there. They're sort of playing with Sehavdic up top and no one really in the middle to make the runs for the defenders and allowing plenty of numbers behind the ball for Heidelberg, and it allows them to win it back easily as Katabian, Kamara, and just asking of a lot of work from the front 3 tonight, and they're coming back to help and then have to go back forward, so they're making gut-busting runs. It's really taking a lot of energy out of the Brunswick front 3, so might have to just change the formation a little bit. We've got just under 20 minutes left to go here.
You can see Sehavdic, he's probably the kind of striker who wants the ball played to his feet. The runs in behind are probably not going to serve him well, but those passing lanes are constantly getting closed down as Feely's coming out of his goal here to just play it safe.
You just wonder
Scott
sometimes,
Lesiotis
Steve,
and Humbert closing those passing lanes.
when those keepers come out, you sort of hold your breath a little bit, wondering, is he going to get there?
Feely conceded a couple of very long-range goals in their last outing, that 5-1 league loss to Bulleen Lions. One of them was from inside the
Finn
other half.
Harbison, yeah.
So he's conceded 2 tonight. Either way, Juve will have some good things to look forward to in the shape of the Australia Cup national round, where they'll play Marlin Coast Rangers in the round of 32. That's up in Cairns, so that's locked in the Australia Cup, which they well and truly earned the right to qualify. So they've been on the longest qualifying campaign out of anyone in Victoria, having to go through that unlucky being drawn out, play that extra play-in game to make the Final Four after we had to play down to the last 5 for Australian Cup qualification reasons.
Yeah, I spoke to a few people at the club. They were real happy with that away trip, especially in warmer climate of Cairns. So they'll really look forward to that. As the ball over the top now, a chance for Sehavdic, but Collins was there to clean up. And that centre-back pairing is really working wonders tonight. They've worked in tandem, making sure one is covering the other. And just goes to show the keen eye that Johnny A has for defenders. Every year he seems to pluck a defender out of the A-League. He just finds the right player for him. And again tonight he's got 2 already. One started earlier on, one's probably just about to come on. So he's got a keen eye for players, Johnny A. As Brunswick now try to go forward. Everyone back here for Heidelberg. Just nothing really opening up for him.
Yeah, you're spot on there though, Alex. Tasmu Dakuda's 27 years of age, so plenty of experience at A-League level, 188 centimetres. He's a good height. He can play. He's versatile as well, which can be good at this level. He can play as a defensive mid, which we saw him play in that role on Friday night in the league, and also as a central defender, which is his primary role, which we see him playing in tonight. Still getting used to seeing Lethlean running up and down as a left back. It looks a bit jarring seeing the taller figure out there in that full-back position, but he's done a good job, Ryan Lethlean, out there. Now, it's going to be a double change coming up here for Heidelberg United, and Sahi Yokokawa, who got the assist for the first goal, he failed to grab a goal for himself. He's the player coming off, and it's Chok Dow who got the assist for the Joseph Lee goal. So both goal scorers and both players who supplied the assist are now both sitting back on the pine, and it's like an opportunity for Thea Harris and Basetto. So
looks like Johnny A wants to kill off the game here, sending Basetto up forward, the youngster. So Thea Harris, we know what he can do in the A-League. It's just starting to unravel once again. McGowan now, and it's really been quite a good game since the earlier moment by when we had Choctaw and Zidius. So it's just a little spot fire starting again now. Not sure if there was much involved in that one.
Nico Duarte was one of the players involved. The ball was still in play when they started scrapping for it.
Yeah, I think he's just giving a nice little, a cheeky little head slap there to Simeoi, and didn't appreciate that. So
Simeoi's already on a yellow card, so he cannot afford to be getting into these scraps. But luckily for him, Adam Babkar is feeling like, well, he got up the right side of the bed this morning, and he's decided to let Nicolas Simeoi stay on the pitch. One of those players who is already on a yellow card.
Either he's got on the right side, or he's been up all morning watching the World Cup referee. So he's got some little tips and tricks on how to man. No, he's done a fantastic job there, and that's what you want to see. He's calling them both over, having a chat to them, letting them know, look, we've had a good game so far. Let's keep it going. As McGowan will get a yellow, and then
Duarte
get a, and it's Katabian.
It's a big impact for Duarte. He hasn't been out on the pitch very long. He's already got a yellow card. A man whose middle name is Recoba. No doubt his parents were fans of the Uruguayan number 10 that was such a star, and maybe the thorn against our Socceroos on one particular occasion.
We won't mention him, Steve.
There was no divine right for the Uruguayan side to make it out of the group stage in this World Cup, though.
Good work by Lesiotis.
Ball's refused to go out. Look at Basic, he's continuing on.
He's played it into Sehavdic. Back out, or Don Fala. Get it back out to Zidius. He goes wide again. Giannino, but again, they're just yellow shirts everywhere at the moment. There's Brunswick really 15 minutes left to go to try to force this into extra time. One taking a deflection, good control. As Heidelberg now break away here through Fulton. Goes short. Good work by Basic. To Nikolic. Oh, and Simioi, he got a lucky break there. Goes over the top again, and again it's that poor pass, Steve, that we've said it a number of times. It's just letting him down. They get the ball back, and in the end, they just make that decision that really just puts all their hard work undone.
It does, and they're going to have to just try and box Heidelberg in here, but straight away you can see the poise and composure of Humbert as he just opens up the angle and plays it long. He's giving it straight back though. Simoy, Katabian, Lockie Campbell, one behind the ball now in the yellow shirts. They enjoy sitting on this 2-goal cushion. Goal now for Juve would set it up for a grandstand finish. Ganino, ball in, Serhavdic giving chase. He was never going to get there, and Fulton can make the clearance. Well, they're asking one or two questions, but are they the right questions at the moment of this Heidelberg defence from Anthony Barbieri's side? This is Simoy. You can sense the urgency now. It's now or never for Juve if they want to make their first Dockerty Cup final since 1990. Get their first win in this famous and historic competition since 1987 when they beat Heidelberg of all teams. 3-1 on that occasion. So they claimed their 6th title that time. If they could somehow turn this around and be vying for a 7th title come the 8th of August when the final's on at the home of the Matildas, this would be quite the comeback. But there's still time.
Plenty of time, Steve. You know, they only need one chance. But easier said than done against a side that hasn't conceded in the Dockerty Cup, despite their league run of form. They really shown tonight why that when it comes to the crunch, Johnny A knows just how to get his side really ready and waiting. And we've seen that a couple times this season, Steve, when they've been tested. They're coming off a loss, and then the following week, the team that versus them absolutely gets a hammering. And St Albans will be watching this game very closely to ensure how they can pick apart this side as Cam Watson and his Chargers want to try to avoid that relegation battle. As, again, all numbers forward here as they send it out wide. It's flicked on, but no one really running on the end of it. And it's just a simple clean-up for Fulton now. Gets around his marker in Kamara. Still going Fulton, and Nikolic getting in the way. It's just a moment here now. Kamara, got to be careful. He's got players around him. Serhavdic shot. Basic trying to gets a good spin move now out wide. It's Kamara. He shoots. Good save by Souza.
Best moment of the game for Juve. You just wonder earlier in that build-up if Serhavdic could have laid it off to Basic, but the layoff in the end was spectacular, and had Kamara finished that past Souza, that would have been one of the goals of the season that Brunswick Juve would have scored in terms of team interplay around the edge of the area against an NPL Victoria team. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've got that in their repertoire, just haven't been able to show it here tonight, and that's going to be a credit to Johnny A and his side. They've really minimised Brunswick's threats going forward. It's another poor back pass here. Going forward once again, it's an opportunity. Theo Harris going out wide. Is this a moment now? Theo Harris just waiting for it patiently at the edge of the box. I don't think they've seen him. And it's going to be a goal kick. And that might... Will that bring a change here for Brunswick Juventus? No. Sean Ellis just has to wait a couple of extra minutes here.
Just stretching out the groins there, Sean Ellis, the 36-year-old Scotsman. He's ready to come and maybe ignite something on the pitch in the last 10 minutes of this contest. It would be quite something if he could come on and snag a goal. Look, maybe, just maybe, the Heidelberg fans would cheer it in if it was late enough to be only a consolation. But football's a strange game, Alex.
Yeah, a lot of respect for him, and don't know what a threat he will be despite his age, and he knows how to get in the right places, Steve. He's shown that throughout this season. And still no changes. We've got just under 10 minutes left to go here in this New Balance Dockerty Cup semi-final. Heidelberg have edging closer to to the final now. And 1 foot there. They'll wait the winner out of North Sunshine and Preston Lions next Tuesday. It's going to be a ripping game at Larissa Reserve as well.
That's right. North Sunshine Eagles not doing well in the league at all, but in the cup, they have been on fire, scoring bags of goals, 3 at a time often. And against sides like Avondale, featuring Bruno Fornaroli and other star players that they've got in that star-studded squad, coached by Jonathan Germano.
Obviously, they're going to make their trip to Adelaide against Belgrade, so that's going to be an interesting battle. I wonder how many buses are going to go over the border.
Hopefully a few buses will be going over for that one, but yeah, excited to watch that one from afar, I suppose, on the stream when that one takes place. And Heidelberg will also be going across to Adelaide in the round of 32 in the Australia Cup, but they're defending here for the moment. McGowan's going to make the clearance, put it out in front of the substitute Nico Duarte. Johnny Anastasiadis changing all of his front 4. Duarte coming on up front, Picetto on the left. Thea Harris is the 10 and McGowan on the right. Good to see Christian 3 Thea Harris in the Victorian football ranks again. He's come through as a junior at Bentley Greens originally before making his name as a youngster coming through at Victory. He's been over to Borussia Mönchengladbach, Western United, Central Coast Mariners. Want some trophies up there. In again comes the cross, away by Mutakutis, straight to Basic, tries the curler, not enough purchase on it.
Yeah, that's something that Basic really needed to just put his foot through it there. Right idea, but the execution didn't pay off, and that's something they'll look back and know that those chances, really, you've got to put them away against the top tier NPL side, Steve. You can't afford to allow them not to be in the back of the net, and that's been a difference tonight. Is when the opportunities have presented Heidelberg, they put them away, and that's something that the VPL sides need to be, cautious of, especially with Brunswick in that, top half of the table. As we'll get back to that point, as now going forward, you see Harris, and that's going to be
no free kick.
Playing on. So Adam Bavka wants to get the game going. Obviously wants to wrap it up at the 90 minutes.
Adam Bavka saying, welcome to the Victorian football competition here in the New Balance Dockerty Cup. We let the game flow.
I wonder if
maybe different refereeing to the A-League.
I wonder if he's reffed. I was about to ask him if he's reffed the RS before. That'll be interesting.
Well, it's been a great cup campaign for Brunswick Juventus, kicking it off with a 5-0 win down at Sky Recreation Reserve against State League 1 South East side Sky United, and they knocked off Hume City on penalties. Box Hill United to VPL 2 in extra time, courtesy of a Luca Pullen goal.
119th minute as well, Steve.
Just the maximum amount of drama you could ask for in the round 6 of the Dockerty Cup, that one. Then round 7 again, extra time again. Sean Ellis in the 111th minute after Marco Basic had scored on 43 minutes to knock out Oakley Cannons, the league leader in NPL Victoria. Then they had that tension-filled game that you were here calling against Bulleen. A goal to nil courtesy of Luca Pullen after a Sean Ellis free kick floated into the box, and Bulleen couldn't handle the situation, and Pullen, well, he loves those sorts of opportunities.
He does, and tonight just been nullified, really. They made sure that he didn't get much involvement in the game, really had to drop very deep, almost into his own defensive half to pick up the ball, and that's just Johnny A. He just understands how to, look at the opposition and understand where he needs to, stop those threat. And again, Lesiotis came flying in. Fulton there came flying in. Strong challenge from both players there.
It's getting ragged out there now.
Campbell not happy with that one. Campbell still down.
That stung, didn't it? Well, there was a couple of big challenges that came in there. First, it was Fletcher Fulton, who knows this pitch very well from his time at Moreland City when they were in the top flight. He was playing as a winger back then rather than a fullback. It might sit here for Marco Basic. Well read by Ben Collins, player who's trying to play back into a healthy vein of form. Thea Harris with the stand and deliver diagonal ball, and it stays in perfectly for Nico Duarte. Runs past Simoy. Inside is Theoharis. He shapes to shoot. The shot fizzes past the post. So just 5 minutes of regulation time to go here. So the time definitely is now for Juve to make it count if they can have the composure in the final third. Sean Ellis still waiting on the sideline to come on. There's one other Juve player that's taken off the tracksuit top to get ready to come on as well. Long ball aimed at Basic. It's a good header by Fletcher Fulton. Humbert, who's been like a metronome at the base of the midfield and allowed a little bit more flexibility for Lesiotis tonight. Those two team up so well as the dual number 6s for John Anastasiadis just in front of the defensive line, and Lesiotis has maybe had a little bit more freedom to move around the park with Humbert back in there. So here comes those changes, Alex.
Yep, Sean Ellis will come on. James Exidius comes off. And it's 6 and 13. So Dominic Fowler coming off, number 13, Robert Katachenko. So Anthony Barbieri just rolling the dice with the final 5 minutes here. I mean, if we can at least get one goal, just put the brakes on Heidelberg a little bit. But it's a tough ask so far, as Heidelberg have done an extremely great job here. And to your point, Steve, Anthony Lesiotis doesn't look like he's done much, but he's done plenty. And that's the sort of difference maker he is you watch the game, you won't notice him, but then when you watch it back on replay, he's pretty much everywhere. And he just pulls the right strings at the right time as Ellis chips it into the box. It's a free header for Heidelberg. Again, it's that poor passing by Brunswick Juventus as Simioi wins it back.
That was a great cross in by Nikolic, that previous phase of play. So nearly found Sir Havdic. But again, Ben Collins, who looks like he's lifted. He started the game slow, but he's finishing it like a house on fire.
Yeah, that's just the experience of Ben Collins. You know, he's been through the Western United ranks. It's Johnny A just plucking an A-League player out and just does a tremendous job. And you know we're going to get week in, week out for him. You know he's rock solid. Rarely gets beaten, rarely makes a mistake. And he's just one of the players that, he's probably the first player that's on the team sheet every game.
Yeah, him and Johnny A have such a good relationship from their time together at Western United as well. So it was an easy decision, no doubt, for Anastasiadis to bring him in. Here comes the corner from Ellis, and again it's Collins rising highest. Might sit here for one of the substitutes to try and get on the end of it. Let's see, Havdic with the drive, blocked again, this time by Collins. Yet again, that man again. Theoharis plays it out in front of Basetto. He's got Nikolic to beat. Here comes the substitute, Basetto. Oh, and he just had it taken off his toes. Good recovery from Nikolic, who might have hurt his hammy here. Hopefully it's just a bout of cramp. I think it might be.
Yeah, he's definitely cramping up there. I think that might get some changes on now.
More changes coming here for Anthony Barbieri. Clearing the bench. I imagine it'll be Christian Tramontana and Ethan Pisani coming on. So that's Lockie Campbell's night done. And Nenad Nikolic as well, so a fair old laundry bill for Nenad Nikolic. I can't even read the number 3 on the back of his jersey anymore.
Hate to be the one that's going to be doing the laundry tonight, that's for sure.
Playing juniors, and it was a bit of a lottery or a rota or a rotation system. This was the kind of week where you wanted to call in sick from that duty. Opportunity for Salu Kamara.
Oh, it's a big challenge there.
Yeah, man down is certainly felt that one. Lesiotis getting back up to his feet.
And they can't afford to lose him.
That's just a knee, I reckon, to the shin.
Yeah, and especially on a cold night, it's going to hurt more than anything.
They're resilient, these players. I wouldn't see you or me out there, I don't think, Alex. Well, I'll speak for myself anyway.
Steve, I think we're long past it, mate. I think...
Not from the terms of ability, just from the terms of the attrition.
think we might be out for a couple of weeks, not a couple of days.
Soz is going to play this one long, so we're about to head into added time in this Dockerty Cup semi-final. Heidelberg can almost reach out and touch it now, a chance at redemption after their heartbreak on the first week of August at the home of the Matildas last year. It was Basetto's header, he didn't know where it went. McGowan with the snapshot. Everyone had almost stopped, play had kept going.
Looks like Johnny A might make the final change. Ethan Sardellis to come on.
Looks like number 6 is up on the board for Anthony Lesiotis. You don't see him being substituted that often. He's refusing to come off.
Oh, no, he's
going to go reluctantly. He's going to jog off now. Look, he's still jogging though. He's not even. Oh, now he's going to break into a bit of a walk. Very durable player, as we say. He cops the knocks and he just gets back up and keeps going. So, chance here for Sardellis, the 18-year-old. He turns 19 on Saturday. If Burgers can make it 2 wins in the space of this week with the win on Friday night against St Albans, it'd be a pretty happy birthday celebration for Ethan on Saturday.
Yeah, I definitely think Johnny A understands what's required despite those 3 losses. It's still, though, the last time they played St Albans did win that game over at Dinamore, so they've got to be careful, but they've really have good games against Dinamore. Last time I was there, it was a 2-2 game, St Albans. So
up there on that pitch, that elevated pitch 2 or 3, is it there?
Yeah, so it will be a big game at Olympic Village for them. I think it'll be a good test for them after tonight, how they come out of this one. But it's going to be a ripper of a game. But also Brunswick Juventus, they've got to face Brunswick City as we're still in the final stages here. Can Heidelberg wrap it up with a third? Not in a rush to force it forward. Although we haven't seen how many added minutes is going to be on the block, Steve. So
your guess is as good as mine, Alex. We looked over to see the added time, and they were holding up the numbers of the substitution that Heidelberg were making. It definitely wasn't the added minutes. It wasn't 21. That was Ethan Sardellis' shirt number, not 21 minutes added on at the end of this one. Well, the goal now would be something for Juve to hang their hat on what's been a great cup run. So they've still got the Australia Cup for them to look forward to. That trip to Cairns coming up. But at the moment, it looks like their Dockerty Cup run might be over as the touch from Basetto was maybe a touch heavy, but he finds Duarte, who passed it straight to Nick Feely.
Well, there was no better chance there for Duarte to put that in the back of the net and seal it.
Can't believe he hasn't scored, neither can he.
I think you'll look back at that one and go, how did that not end up in the back of the net? It happens to the best of them.
Well, it looks like Basetto's touch was a little too heavy, but Basetto recovered so well and played it across to Duarte. Maybe Duarte wasn't even expecting it. So Soz is going to get us restarted here. There's only moments left before Heidelberg can celebrate making it through to another Dockerty Cup final. It'll be 2 in a row as they chase their second title in the New Balance Dockerty Cup. This storied competition that dates back to 1909. Remarkably, this great club only winning it once in their history. Well, they might as well throw it all forward now. Juve. It's almost like a game of markers up here. It's just drilled forward. So Hubdit does get his head on it. Well played by the striker, who's toiled away for the entire 90 minutes.
Yeah, he's worked hard. Unfortunately, the delivery hasn't been there. And that's something when Havdic gets a delivery, he really showcases what he can do. But it's a good lesson here for Brunswick Juventus. They know where they're at, and if they happen to make it next year into the top tier Victorian football, they'll face Heidelberg at least twice, so they'll understand what's required of them and what they need to do. But look, it's a great run for this club. You know, they've been out in the wilderness for quite a number of years, and they're slowly building their way back. And you know, it's a good occasion for them. There's a chance there as Sousa comes out. They couldn't make it in the final here in the New Balance Dockerty Cup. They still have the round of 32 in Australia Cup. That's another opportunity for them to go deep. They're still in, the VPL 1, they're third, 2 points behind Melbourne Knights. So long way to go. And this great club could be once again in the top tier of Victorian football. There's Kamara. Giannino switching flanks. Tramontana. Katabian going back to Feely. Still haven't seen the fourth official put on the added minutes. So
we've almost gone 6 minutes now.
Unless he's forgotten and just gone, we'll keep playing, boys.
Oh, here's Ellis. Taken away from him by Sard Ellis. And that's it. Heidelberg clinch a spot in the New Balance Dockerty Cup final for the second consecutive year. And the redemption for their loss in 2025 is well and truly on here. 2-0 winners tonight. And at the end of the day, they were too good for a gallant Brunswick Juventus side who's had a fantastic Dockerty Cup campaign up until now.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic effort, Heidelberg. They knew what was required of them tonight. Despite their form in the league, Johnny A knows that it only takes one match to turn around your fortune, and that's been that tonight. They took their opportunity, Steve, and that's what will please Johnny A. And they knew that they just had to get over this hump and ensure that they put their foot forward into the final. They'll play out of North Sunshine or Preston Lions, so it's another opportunity and another trophy for Johnny A out there. But you got to give credit to Brunswick Juventus. What a run they've had. You know, they faced two other NPL teams. They've had to play that extra game against Bulleen as well, which definitely would have taken out a little bit out of them. But credit goes to them. They've been on a fantastic run, and on the night, Brunswick just didn't have enough. Johnny A just nullified their attack and ensured that their boys did their job, and they've done that. And both teams will be happy. I mean, I know Brunswick Juventus will be disappointed with the result, but they know that they've been on a great run, and they'll look forward to going back into the league this Friday against Brunswick City.
Yeah, huge one there. The Brunswick derby there. Brunswick Juventus and Brunswick City, that one taking place back here on Friday night. Then they've got the match at home again the following Friday against the Western United side that may have lost a few players in the window already. So they'll be looking to try and make 6 points to keep the pressure on. Can they squeeze into that top two, do you think, Alex? Or are they looking for a playoff?
Absolutely. I think they're 2 points behind Melbourne Knights. Northcote City, I think, are 6 points ahead. So, I mean, they did beat Northcote here 1-0, so it's in them. It's just they've got to be consistent over the next couple of weeks, and that starts Friday night. They get the result there. A couple of results going in their favour, and that brings back the top three again. But look, it's VPL 1. It's called the Chaos League for a reason. But
anything can happen.
That's right. We'll talk about that another time. But yeah, here tonight, credit to Heidelberg. They've just done everything right tonight, and you can see the players on there. They've been out of position playing out of position over the last couple of weeks. Tonight, Johnny A's got them back into position, and they've delivered what matters.
That's right. Well, Heidelberg, they've made it through to the final for a second consecutive year, and without conceding a goal in doing so for a second consecutive year. They were derailed by Campbell Doverson, of all players, who was popped up out of nowhere, the youngster, to ruin their day in the final last year. Maybe it'll be their day when it comes around on August the 8th at the home of the Matildas, Alex.
Yeah, and that's just goes to show you the credit to Johnny A. He's played all games, not conceded a goal. And they're going to the final potentially again, probably as favourites. Where you feel like with their form in this cup, and that'll depend on who they face. But again, credit to Johnny A. But look, like you said, they've only won it once. It's a big opportunity to them. They were unlucky last year, as you've mentioned. They have another chance at getting that trophy again, and in their way will be out of Preston and North Sunshine Eagles. But look, they're a side to watch. They have little blips along the journey, but they managed to get back on track. And you can see the Brunswick Juventus players, they'll be shattered, obviously, with the result, but they know they've given it their best. They've really shown that what they're capable of. And you can see the crowd, they're still staying around, still clapping him off, which is important for the boys. And, backing him in, they've still got a job to do, and the job's not finished.
Yeah, not many people have left, and you can see the pride in this group as they come off the pitch. So Heidelberg United, they've locked away their spot in the New Balance Dockerty Cup final, the second semi-final, next Tuesday night on the Football Victoria live stream. You can't get to the ground for North Sunshine Eagles versus the Preston Lions at Larissa Reserve. Be sure to tune in to the Football Victoria live stream. We've got you covered for that one, kicking off at 7:30 next Tuesday night to see who Heidelberg will face in the final. It should be a beauty. Big thank you to Magnus behind the camera. You've been fantastic tonight. Great working with you, as always, Alex Sivkorowski. I've been Steve Kurt. It's been a pleasure to have you accompany for this call of this match. And congratulations to Johnny Anastasiotis and Heidelberg United, who get through tonight courtesy of goals from Kieran Bramwell and Joseph Lee. The Burgers, too good tonight as they advance to their second consecutive New Balance Dockerty Cup final by 2-0 from CB Smith Reserve. Until next time, it's a very good evening.
We will, sir. Oh, no, later. Go, boys. Go, boys. Go, Pat. Go. Go, Bram. Go, Bram. Go, Cal. Go, Flick. Go, boys. Well done. Champion. Well done, sir. Well done.
See Julian.
Julian.
I spoke to taking on the team. That's when what's name so you'll have, is it 9? You've got 10 anyway, right? So that's a good one on the bench at least. I think I'm going to. No, I was just saying.
No, that's right.